Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Egan, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm all spiffy dressed up. Ooh. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, well, I'm kind of wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And yeah, that's basically the case, except for, again, the grody part. Yeah, I went over there. I got off work about 45 minutes ago, and just this was one of those things that like I'd had in my closet for I don't know how long, and I just found it, and I was like, sure, it's getting a little bit chilly out, so we'll wear a thing. It's got long sleeves, even though I don't really like long sleeves all that much, but but it also prompted me, what with the chilly weather and such. It's like, you know what? I sure could use a hot beverage, and so I decided to go over there. Hop on out to a place. It's been a little while since I've reviewed anything from, because they're kind of not that close to me in terms of like, they're not really on my way to anything, so it's like I have to kind of actively think about it. But it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So where did I go? What am I reviewing? It happens to be, boom, from Brew Coffee, which, by the way, is a local chain in Illinois, which means that this review is going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois-related spots. This is more than just a cup of coffee. Our mission is just build a better world through our business. Learn more about our story and products at brewpointcoffee.com. Woo! Yeah, first of all, let's get a thing for the thing that looks like this. We'll kind of ha 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 ha. And yeah, I've reviewed some stuff from Brew Point before. And I specifically wanted, like when it clicked in my head, it was like, oh yeah, I know I want to go there, because right now they're in their fall menu. And last year when I first started reviewing things from them, I didn't get to really get into their fall menu all that much. So what did I get off their fall menu? It happens to be their apple pie chai, which consists of apple cider. Oh, I love apple cider. Chai, as one would, oat milk, and cinnamon. So let's give it a go. All right. It smells amazing. Like, you can smell the cider and you can smell the cinnamon. So, it's very, very frothy. I don't even know if I got any coffee with that. I think I mostly just got froth. Let's get. Okay, there we go. Oh! Yes, sir. Okay. Oh, man. Some good fucking stuff. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. I am really liking this. If for people who watch my channel, like, you might know, like, I'm not the biggest coffee guy in the world. Like, I review stuff for it. But I'm the type of person where, like, if I'm going to do, like, a coffee or even, like, a tea to some extent, I tend to prefer stuff that it's got enough stuff in there that it doesn't taste too much like the normal stuff. And Brew Point is one of the few instances where I'm kind of willing to let that go a little bit, because everything I've ever had from Brew Point, it has been really good. Like, if it hasn't been outright stellar, it's at least been something that I've really enjoyed. I don't think I've ever had anything from them that I've disliked. And, it is one of those things, when you think like coffee places, of course you have, like your stalwarts, your Starbucks, your Dunkin' Donuts. And, I've reviewed plenty of stuff from both of those. But then, if you're fortunate enough like me, where, you have like a really great, food scene and, all kinds of stuff that you can kind of grasp onto, you get a place like Brew, where it's a smaller, more local spot. Again, like it is at least a chain to some extent. There's like more than one location. Um, but yeah, and the nice thing about that is typically if, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, you can taste the quality. And that's absolutely the case here. Like you can taste the quality of what's going on. This is delicious. I am surprised on two counts. Surprised with how much apple cider flavor there is in this and how beautifully it mixes with the chai. Because in my thought process, I don't know that would work all that well because like chai is a more sort of mellow flavor, very smooth, kind of, apple cider is very sharp flavor. It's very striking. But what it is that you get the nice apple cider flavor and it's got a nice cinnamon spice to it. It's very nice. And I think that really helps kind of hold the whole thing together. You've got that kind of at the forefront, and then you still get a little bit of a sharpness from it. It's not completely devoid of that, that sharpness that, at least for me, I want out of an apple cider. But then it just kind of mellows and it becomes that nice creamy chai. And then you've got, the oat milk base just kind of, giving you a little bit of an extra earthiness. There's a lot of complexity, a lot of dimension to it. It's got contrasting flavors, which you folks know. I love contrasting flavors, usually. Depends on what the contrasts are. You do have that nice fruitiness, you do have that nice creaminess, you do have that nice earthiness. And then again, you just have this nice run of cinnamon kind of just wafting throughout the entire experience. And they did a great job of preparing this, I have to say, because this is one of those things where I could see if you went too far one way or another, you could fuck up the balance on this, and I think it would really kind of lose what makes it special. That's not only good as a tea, that's just a good fucking drink. And apparently, according to the girl who took my order, who was very nice. In fact, both of the staff members were very nice. The girl who took my order and the guy who prepared it. But according to the girl who took my order, apparently I was the first person who had ordered this particular drink, at least while she'd been working. So, folks, you got to get on this shit. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, and absolutely yes. I think that, for me personally, I love this because I love apple cider as, just in anything. I think that's always a great base. And in terms of like teas and stuff like that, I do like a chai, It's not something that I go to on the regular, but it is one of those things that when I see it, I have a strong anticipation that I'm going to enjoy it. And the fact that they managed to blend these together so well and still manage to go over there and have them have the best qualities of them be highlighted says a lot. And it just tastes like a really nice drink. And it doesn't taste like a Starbucks drink where, they're just cramming shit in there. And I mean, look, I'll drink some Starbucks stuff. I've reviewed plenty of Starbucks stuff. Like I said, I'm not trying to completely shit on them. But let's be honest. At this point, you're not going to Starbucks for the quality. It's just, even they admit it. It's like they just have lots of flavorings and lots of stuff. And that's fine. But this isn't that. This doesn't feel like a gimmick. This feels like a really wonderful drink that, on top of being super tasty, feels super appropriate for fall. I like it so much, in fact, folks. If you watch my channel, you might know what's coming. I'm calling this the business. And if you don't know what that means, when I refer to something as the business, that means that effectively I feel like this item is pretty much perfect. You could tweak it a little bit, you could do a little bit here or there, but fundamentally, it's just structurally sound to such an extent that I just feel it deserves that added distinction. This is delicious. It is absolutely something I would get again. It's something I'm going to actively try to get again before it goes off their fall menu. And if I'm recommending it, I'm super recommending it. The Brew Point reviews typically don't go that well in terms of views, even by my standards, which are admittedly pretty meek. But I don't care because at the end of the day, I'm always going to go over there. For one thing, I'm always going to try to highlight local spots anyway. But especially when you have a place like Brew Point where it is a genuinely really quality spot. Like I said, I've never had anything I've disliked from them. And this may very well be my favorite thing that I've had from them. So I'm absolutely going to recommend this. I think this is something that pretty much anybody could get on board with. It's super tasty. It has a nice sort of drinking experience in terms of like the texture and everything that's going on. It has a nice complexity to it. It's delicious. So I highly recommend going out and getting this one while it's available on their menu. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, you go over there and have yourselves a truly apple cider-tastic rest of your life. Because apple cider is good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have any awesome local spots that you feel like highlighting? Please let me know. Hit me up in the comments. I mean, especially if they're local to Illinois, who knows? Maybe I can get out and, actually review them at some point. But even if they're not, I would just genuinely like to hear about it because those are the places where, and I've mentioned this before, I'm fine with like chain locations and fast food and stuff. I review a lot of that stuff. But the places that really make a local scene special are places like Brew Point, are places like, like Aunt Tina's or, Kebab House or, any of the places that I've reviewed that end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist. If the McDonald's by me shut down, I wouldn't be happy about it. Every now and again I want a fucking Big Mac or some shit. But when I lose a local place, that hurts my soul, So, like I said, I'd be interested to hear what you fine folks have to say. Bye.